The Formula Drift Championship continues on in the Pacific Northwest as Round 6 finds the series at Evergreen Speedway. The event is halfway through and some big contenders like Vaughn Gittin Jr. have been knocked out. Chris FORSBERG and Frederick Osbo have been able to advance into the Grade 8, so there's a big opportunity for them to capitalize. 8 drivers remain as we are ever so close to finding out who will win here in Seattle, only on UTI Formula Drift, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Hello Drift fans and welcome back. We're at Evergreen Speedway for round 6 of 8 of Universal Technical Institute Formula Drift, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. I'm Jared Dienda, and this is the premier international drifting sanctioning body. Well, we've made our way from 32-16, and now the Grade 8 is upon us. The championship is still up for grabs. Mind you, we still have 2 rounds, Texas and of course, the House of Drift, Irwindale, California. Before we move on to the action, I throw it down to my co-host, Ryan Sage.
All right, well, thanks, Jared. We're down here on the course at Evergreen Speedway, and we're celebrating our 10th year here. And for 10 years, the course has been exactly the same until now. We've taken this section of the course, and we've really smoothed it out to highlight tandem because of the development of the cars and the high horsepower. And what it's going to do is allow these cars to stay closer together for longer periods of time, thus better tandem. We've got so much more to come in the Grade 8, but before we get to that, we're going to head on board with our Blackview course preview.
This is your Blackview course preview here at Evergreen Speedway. It's super fast, especially with the new layout that they have for us this year. Starting off in first gear through the chicane, grab second, up to third, fourth. I do a feint entry and flick it in on the gas. I never lift.
This bank is really, really long, so you gotta manage your angle, manage your throttle, and stay committed all the way to the end of the zone.
You start coming off the bank, I give a quick handbrake check, you get back on throttle real hard, look for that touch and go section of the course.
Stay wide angle, full throttle, transition quick into outer zone 2, ride the wall again, stay a little bit later on outer zone 2 as I approach inside clip 1.
Then I flick it back to the right for our second inner clip through the finish line, and that's our Blackview course preview.
Drifting is the only motorsport in the world based on judging, so let's break down how that works. In head-to-head battles, the lead driver is supposed to run a specific line with as much speed and angle as possible. The lead driver setting the pace, but the chase driver is supposed to utilize the lead driver as a moving clipping point. Wherever the lead goes, the chase should go as well. After 2 runs with each driver leading once, the driver that was the most consistent, most aggressive, and showed clear dominance over the other driver will win the matchup. And that is your FD judging criteria, brought to you by the General.
The Grade 8 is upon us, and Ryan, I gotta tell you, this has been the perfect event. And I say that weather-wise. Every other round of competition, we've seen some sign of moisture, but now we are seeing clear skies and the forecast, an awesome event. Matt Kaufman, Dean Carnage Carney, Kaufman qualified 8th, Dean qualified 17th.
Well, Matt Kaufman certainly looking very solid here this weekend. Dean as well. Here we go into initiation.
Yeah, Dean taking down Vaughn Gittin Jr., Kaufman taking out Honadale. Who's gonna take out each other here? Big angle from Kaufman, filling that rear clipping zone.
A great job right there by Dean at the beginning part of the bank, but then losing a little bit of ground as Kaufman remains consistent.
Into that second rear clipping zone, tightening up and buttoning up. Dean Carney taking out that front clip. Oh, and a little bit of contact there.
Well, Dean was very aggressive the entire run right here and just gets a little bit too over-aggressive as he makes contact with Matt Kaufman.
Well, Dean and his team know they have to be aggressive. Seeing Matt Kaufman have a great presence in the top 16. Dean Carnage Carney, he's out front now.
Battling for a spot in the semifinals, Dean Carney and Matt Kaufman, here we go.
Dean settled, not big angle as Kaufman catching up to him, 73.1 miles per hour. But look at that, Dean just slowly pouring on more angle as he exits the bank.
Off the bank and through the power alley here as both drivers transition. Big angle right there by Kaufman that he has to unwind a little bit.
Yeah, you see him straightening out just a touch as they bring it across the finish line. Ryan, let's look at it again.
Well, that was the only noticeable mistake that Matt Kaufman made through both runs. Will it be enough to get him the win here in Seattle?
Let's go to the Universal Technical Institute judging results, and they are going one more time. It's 2-1 with Ryan Lontaine erring on the side of Dean Carnage Carney. Well, push comes to shove. These guys are going to be shoving for the victory. Matt Kaufman out front, Dean Carney giving chase.
Super fast down the front straight. Nice initiation by Matt right to angle.
Look at Dean Carney right there on the door of the 959 of Kaufman, and Kaufman on the wall, dragging bumper.
Nice job in the lead position. Big angle here by Matt Kaufman. Dean Carney not letting him get away. This is a nice battle.
Oh, you see Dean Carney, and look at that. We got contact, and we got a nose job.
Well, tough to call here. Was Matt Kaufman off throttle, or was Dean Carney too aggressive? Either way, we've got contact.
The contact, you can see Matt Kaufman moving his wheel. Dean Carney going to the side of it, so Dean Carney will lead. Matt Kaufman giving chase.
Well, obviously that contact is going to play a huge role, be dependent on who was at fault here, so both drivers have to drive extremely hard in run number 2.
Dean at speed 73.1 miles per hour, but not as much angle as Kaufman into that first rear clipping zone as they navigate into the power alley.
Matt Kaufman through the smoke line of Dean Carney as Dean wraps around that inside clip. Matt Kaufman, big angle there, almost losing it.
But he does not, he holds on to it. So you have to assess what the judges are looking at. They do deem Dean Carney at fault on that first run. Kaufman, he comes to a halt, but still maintains that angle. Let's go to Universal Technical Institute judging results. Kaufman gets the win.
Dean's a very fast driver, so my transitions aren't as fast, and getting back out into the zone is fast, not as fast as Dean. So he made contact with me again in the same zone. So it's, it's not the way I want to win a battle ever, but we're on to the top 4, so it's a good day.
Formula Drift on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Universal Technical Institute, chosen by industry, ready to work. By Blackview, over the cloud. And by Hankook Tire, driving emotion.
Welcome back to Monroe, Washington, the beautiful Seattle skyline with the infamous Space Needle there in the distance. Seattle known for coffee, good libations, and now drifting. Formula Drift been going strong for 10 years. Our next battle on deck, Chris the Force FORSBERG. These guys, 2 championships between both of them, 4 championships in total, going against Tanner Golden Child Faust.
Well, big battle here for Chris FORSBERG as he tries to take a greater lead over Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the championship chase, but this is going to be no easy task against Tanner Faust.
Chris FORSBERG shots fired there as Tanner Faust now closing the gap, 74.7 miles per hour. Both of them dialed. Oh, Tanner Faust just falling off a little bit.
Big mistake right there by Tanner Faust in the chase position, now trying to fight back, but Chris FORSBERG is ever so consistent.
Into that rear clipping zone nicely, Tanner Faust having some major mistakes there, Ryan.
Well, I think you got to give the advantage to Chris FORSBERG here. He does not make any mistakes in the lead position, and Tanner Faust made quite a few.
Let's alternate the order. Tanner Faust out front in that big sedan. Can FORSBERG chase him down in that NOS Energy Drink 370Z?
Well, Tanner Faust has got a battle back here against Chris FORSBERG. He initiates into the bank, and so far, so good.
Yeah, did Chris FORSBERG give himself too much room here as Tanner Faust, big gap between both of them coming to the power alley. Can Tanner Faust dial it in?
Comes off about in the middle line is Tanner Faust. You can see on the inside right there, FORSBERG, and it makes contact with Tanner Faust.
We're seeing some parts of flying here. You see FORSBERG zero in, boom. You see a little piece of the body of that Rockstar Energy Drink Volkswagen Passat come off. Let's go to the Universal Technical Institute judging results. And look at that, 2-1. They're going one more time. So one of the judges siding with Faust, the other 2 saying one more time. Going at it again. Ryan FORSBERG out front, Faust in the chase.
FORSBERG out of the gate, big wide swing into initiation. Faust has to make an adjustment. Here we go.
Faust in his, oh, look at that, again, falling off, 74.1 miles per hour with FORSBERG out front, and Faust not off to a good start.
Making a mistake in the chase position, and another one there as he takes a tight line as Tanner Faust. Once again, FORSBERG consistent in the lead position.
Around that final front clip are both the drivers taking a look. On the bank, you see how low Faust is, lacking the angle. FORSBERG does what he does best, like you said, minimal mistakes. Faust will now be out front. Chris FORSBERG will give chase. Can Faust make up those mistakes, Ryan?
One more time, battle is halfway through. Tanner Faust taking the lead against Chris FORSBERG, initiates, but this time FORSBERG keeping it a little bit closer.
Yeah, look at that. Faust pouring it on 72.3 miles per hour. Big angle, good smoke coming from Faust. FORSBERG zeroing in into the power alley.
Through the smoke line is FORSBERG as Faust, this time consistent out front. Nice job on that inside clip and 1 corner to go.
Well, as they cross the finish line, you see FORSBERG taking out the front clip. That's not enough to offset the mistakes made by Tanner Faust on the first run. As FORSBERG keeps it together, let's go to Universal Technical Institute judging results scorecard. FORSBERG unanimously gets the win.
Yeah, we took out Tanner Faust, two-time champion. He's a great driver, and it was a little crazy. We went one more time with him, but I think in the end, my lead runs won. He was a little off the bank, and which made it kind of hard for me to chase, so I was a little far back, but I think the judges weighed that on him not being on the wall and running that wide line, so I got the win.
Here we go, Ryan, and Formula Drift fans. Odie Bakshis in contention for a championship, as is the defending champion in that Rockstar Energy Drink SR by Toyota TC, Frederick Osbo.
Well, Forsberg is through to the semifinals. Now which one of these other contenders is going to join him there?
We are about to find out. Odie Bakshis initiating in that first rear clipping zone. Osbo nudging his way ever so closer.
Great job by Odie in the lead position, but Osbo is staying with him as they go deep into that zone and transition around. Nice angle by Odie.
Yeah, Odie Bakshis aggressive into that second rear clipping zone, wrapping around the final clip. These guys just ticking the boxes.
Odie Bakshis, a force to be reckoned with. Seems like he is on fire today and probably has an advantage over Frederick Osbo after run number 1.
Frederick Osbo will lead. Odie Bakshis will give chase. Ryan, it bears repeating. Championship implications, points. Who's going to get on the box?
Osbo coming down very fast in the front straight. Nice initiation there. Smoke line already going up, but Odie Bakshis keeping him in his sight.
72.3 miles per hour. Osbo higher on the bank as they go into the power alley. Look at Odie getting closer to Osbo.
Odie Bakshis is sticking it to Frederick Osbo right here as he closes the door even further. Nice job by Odie.
Crossing the finish line are both the drivers. I love this angle, just looking down the power alley. You see Osbo not get quite as deep into that rear clipping zone, but then tightens it up. Let's go to Universal Technical Institute judging results. And Bakshis takes down Osbo.
It feels really good, you know. I really look up to Frederick Osbo. He's a really precise driver, so it's a great achievement, and you know I want to keep going and bump up in points overall.
COFFMAN, FORSBERG, and now Bakshis will be battling one of these gentlemen. Who's it going to be? The Rock or the Gush? Rock and Gushi. Here we go. Tyler McCory versus Ken Gushi.
Number 3rd and 6th qualifier respectively. Tyler McCory out of the gate to look at Ken Gushi pacing him down.
Hats off to Tyler McCory's team. They worked feverishly to get that car back on track, and it's looking pretty solid.
Nice job by McCory. Like to see him get a little bit higher on the wall there, and look how close Ken Gushi is.
Ken Gushi sees the moment. Oh, look at that McCory shallowing up. He gets in that rear clipping zone. Gushi, look at him. He's way shallow.
Gushi goes with big angle, then has to unwind it, finds himself offline, trying to battle back here as run number 1 is in the books.
Man, McCory's car has seen better days, but again, his team getting it back together. Gushi definitely had some mistakes, but McCory was not airtight out front. It's going to come down to the second run. Gushi out front, McCory giving chase.
Gushi quickly through the chicane, now blasting down the front straight. You can see Tyler McCory pacing him very close as both drivers initiate.
Gushi releasing here on the bank. Big angle, getting up close and personal with that wall. 74.1 miles per hour.
Big gap established by Ken Gushi, but then going way off course here, has to wrap back around, opens the door for Tyler McCory.
Ken Gushi tightening up to that front clip. McCory hanging out in that next entire smoke across the finish line.
So both drivers making some mistakes. Ken Gushi started off very strong, then goes off course, and then Tyler McCory unable to keep the angle at the last turn.
Going to the Universal Technical Institute judging results, and they're going one more time. So both the guys, as you said, Ryan, making some mistakes. You thought Gushi would just capitalize on Tyler McCory. Knocked down, but not out. Here we go. The Rock out front, Gushi giving chase.
Tyler McCory initiates Gushi, sticking with him this time, staying super close and surging forward.
69.8 miles per hour. McCory out front of that Mobil 1 Chevrolet Camaro, diving into the power alley.
Tyler McCory on a tight line there. You'd like to see him get out a little bit wider. Gushi right there puts a lot of angle in the car, then has to unwind it.
Gushi zeroing in on the back end of the Camaro, crossing the finish line. Ryan, let's look at it again.
You can see the proximity here from Ken Gushi, Tyler McCory coming in this tight line here. Judges want to see you get out a bit wider.
Alternate the order. Gushi out front. McCory giving chase. This also, you see 6th, you see 3rd qualifying. Remember, we don't have a 3rd place battle. Who's going to get that final podium spot?
Ken Gushi initiates nice and high on the bank. Tyler McCory sticking with him this time, not letting Ken Gushi get away.
72.5 miles per hour. Gushi rock solid out front. Speaking of the Rock, he dives in, giving chase into the power alley.
Well, this time Gushi keeps it on the course as we wrap around this last inside clip here and transitioning into the final turn.
Oh, you see McCory maxing it out across the finish line. The sun is setting. Who will the sun set on as far as one of these drivers? Who's moving on to the final 4? We look at a Universal Technical Institute judging results. Ken Gushi unanimously gets the win.
Man, I'm so disappointed in myself. I feel like I had it in the first run out and totally messed up when I was on my lead lap, overshot the touch and go, forced this into one more time, and kind of messed up on my chase lap after the one more time. But we came up with the win. My spotter told me my only way was to just put on the solid lead lap, and I guess that did it for us.
Formula Drift on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Nexen Tire. Driving tomorrow. By FormulaD.com. For merchandise, tickets, and series information, head to FormulaD.com. And by the U.S. Air Force. Aim high.
Ryan, the Final Four is set. Drift fans around the world, as well as those that are in the stands. You paid for the whole seat, but you're only going to use the edge. Our first battle is on deck. Matt Kaufman, can he get his first Formula Drift podium? Well, he's going to have to go against two-time champion Chris the Force Forsberg.
Well, Matt Kaufman has certainly impressed a lot of people here today. Going up against Forsberg will be his toughest battle so far.
Forsberg qualifying 5th, Matt Kaufman qualifying 8th. That has implications as far as that final podium spot. Forsberg initiating into the bank. Big smoke, Kaufman, big gap.
Kaufman trying to reel in Chris Forsberg here as Forsberg once again consistent out front. Forsberg trying to get an advantage.
Look at Matt Kaufman closing the gap. Big angle from Kaufman. Can he hold on to it as Forsberg continues the pace?
Too snappy of a transition from Matt Kaufman in the chase position causes a spin and another advantage for Forsberg.
You see Kaufman coming to a halt here, and that could play a role in the outcome of this battle. Kaufman now out front, Forsberg giving chase.
Matt Kaufman wide swing into initiation here as Forsberg knows he has an advantage but still has to put up a fight.
That was a nasty initiation by Kaufman, but Forsberg not phased, not as big an angle, but definitely good proximity.
Matt Kaufman mid-line through the power alley as Forsberg transitions, almost makes a mistake but is able to hang on it.
Yeah, Forsberg shallow in that transition, zeroing in on that first front clip, and across the finish line they go.
Taking a look from above, you can see Forsberg right here still putting on a very aggressive chase, even with the Kaufman spin.
Forsberg applying the force here as we look at the Universal Technical. It's judging results. Forsberg's going to the finals. Who's he going to be going against? Well, it's either going to be Odi Bakshis or Ken Gushi. You can see Odi Bakshis qualified 2nd, Gushi qualified 6th. Here we go. Odi will be out front, Gushi giving chase.
Odi Bakshis leaves the chicane, Ken Gushi pacing them side by side as both drivers head into initiation.
Odi has been one for the books this weekend, and he is starting out strong once again, Ryan.
Gushi letting him get away, now trying to close the door, but on the bank, such an important part of the course.
Consistent is Odi out front. Boom, right on that front clip, and zeroing in on the last one and crossing the finish line.
Well, Ken Gushi was able to close the door on the latter half of the run here, but you can see on the bank a little bit too much of a gap that you'd like to have in this part of the competition.
Well, here we go. Alternate the order. Ken Gushi, Formula Drift veteran, going against Odi Bakshis. Remember, the winner goes against Forsberg in the finals, and the loser, qualifying higher than Matt Kaufman, grabs 3rd place.
Gushi initiates. Odi Bakshis right there, sticking with him, keeping that distance as close as possible.
71.4 miles per hour. Gushi on the bank. Nice job. Odi Bakshis keeping the proximity as they enter the power alley.
Big angle there from Gushi, but you look at Odi in the chase position, just not letting him get away.
Odi Bakshis applying the pressure through the smoke. Whoa, almost losing it there.
Well, a great battle to find out who is going to go on into the finals to face Chris Forsberg. It's now up to the judges to make their decision.
The Universal Technical Institute judging results card says Odi Bakshis is going to the finals. It is set. The finals are here when we return in front of this sold-out crowd.
Formula Drift on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Universal Technical Institute. Chosen by industry. Ready to work. By FormulaD.com. For merchandise, tickets, and series information, head to FormulaD.com. By Nitto Tire. Fueled by enthusiasts. And by Blackview. Over the cloud.
Welcome back, drifting fans. The finals are upon us. Round 6 of 8, and we find out that Ken Gushi grabs 3rd, but who is going to be the victor, the highest on the podium? Will it be Artemis Odi Bakshis or two-time champion Chris the Force Forsberg. Odie will lead his qualifying position higher than that of Forsberg.
Well, both Odie Bakchis and Chris Forsberg winless this season. One of these guys will now stand on top of the podium after this battle.
And both grabbing critical championship points as Odie Bakchis 75.1 miles per hour, a gap between the guys, and now closing the gap is Forsberg.
Well, looks like advantage to Odie Bakchis, and then look at this, Chris Forsberg nowhere to be seen. Maybe some contact with Odie Bakchis.
An uncharacteristic move from Forsberg. He's been near flawless, as Odie has been, and there it is. We slow it down. We see some contact. Forsberg comes to a halt. So an interesting run here from the two gentlemen. Forsberg will now lead. Bakchis giving chase. Who's going to get the win?
Odie Bakchis just needs to hold it together now, but Chris Forsberg has got to pull out something big if he wants to take home his first win of the season.
And also, you got to think Odie has to make a mistake. Big angle from Forsberg, maxing it out, dragging the wall. Odie Bakchis cannot be shaken, Ryan.
Well, great lead so far from Forsberg, pouring everything he's got into it, but look at this. Odie once again sticking with him.
Odie Bakchis, one more clip away from grabbing the victory. Forsberg maxing it out and spinning. So insult to injury here, Ryan.
Well, just right at the finish line, another mistake, and that has got to lock it up for Odie Bakchis.
Well, going to our Universal Technical Institute judging results, your winner here in Seattle is Odie Bakchis. That means Chris Forsberg grabs second and Ken Gushi grabs third. Ryan Sage is with our winner now.
All right, well, thanks, Jared. I am here with your winner, Odie Bakchis. Now, Odie, you said somebody told you to take it a little bit less conservative, a bit more risky. That person happened to be your spotter, who's also your wife. You did that. You beat Frederick Osbo and Chris Forsberg in the finals, and you are in the championship chase, my friend.
Yeah, it feels absolutely amazing, and that strategy is paying off. It's definitely been a lot of dialogue, how conservative, how much risk to take, and I think we're nailing it down. So absolutely excited about moving forward and being back in the hunt.
Well, congratulations to Odie Bakchis. We love watching him drift. For everybody here at Formula Drift and Jared Dienda, I am Ryan Sage. We'll see you next time at Texas Motor Speedway.
With 6 rounds in the book, Chris Forsberg leads the pack. 5 points behind is Frederick Osbo and Von Gittin Jr. in third. Auto Manufacturer Championship, SR by Toyota out front, Ford in second, Nissan in third. Tire Manufacturer Championship, Nexen, Falcon, and Hankook. Well, that's it. We'll see you in Texas. In association with Formula Drift, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.